Hey everyone, Phil C here. Obviously not at sea today, on a snowy day in southwestern Ontario, Canada. Thought I'd do a little different video today, take you out for a walk, tell you what's been going on and what's coming up. It's about, I don't know, cold out, let's put it that way. I'm not even sure what the temperature is today. But it's nice, it's crisp, it's a sunny day, blue skies, white snow, evergreens are green. It's very pretty out here. So it's been 6 months since I started my channel. Originally I just did it for a bit of fun, document some of our good times we've had on our cruises, and sort of document the challenges of cruising during COVID, or trying to get back to cruising anyway, being Canadian. Unfortunately, it took 616 days, as you've probably seen from some of my last videos. But we made it back and we had a good time. So we thought it was time to plan another, and then we had some challenges come up. Mainly, pandemic again. This time, getting on the ship, crossing the border, etc. Those types of things. So here's the story. We had planned to go on Celebrity Apex coming up February, and 2 weeks back I got COVID. I am a paramedic. I was only at work. I never saw anybody socially at that point. And I figure that's where I got it. Anyway, I was moderately ill with it. Flu-like symptoms, cold. Persisted for about a good 2 weeks with some repercussions for another week afterwards, but 100% now, feeling good. And my wife got it a few days later, even milder symptoms, only lasted 3 days for her. She never tested positive on the antigen test. I did test positive on a PCR test, and then I did test positive on an antigen test, but she never did. So then I was wondering, well, what about our cruise? Because I had heard that you can still test positive for up to 90 days. So as I was saying, Jane did get it. Jane got it, or 3 days, as I said. Didn't test positive on the tests. So last week we had her go out to the local pharmacy and get a PCR test. And sure enough, she did test positive 2 weeks later after her symptoms had resolved, which kind of goes to prove the point that the virus is still in your system for quite some time. So in going forward, we're trying to figure out what to do here. The cruise lines won't accept certificates of recovery to get on the ship. You have to have a negative test, even if you have a certificate of recovery, and even if you're vaccinated. I phoned Celebrity and I asked them, well, we're totally vaccinated, we're boosted, we've had COVID, we're recovered, there's a certificate of recovery, but if we still test positive, what happens? She goes, you're not getting on the ship. So it seems to be there's no exceptions to this rule, and that's just the way it is. So one of the challenges, it's going to happen. I'll have to take an antigen test 2 days before the cruise to get on the ship. So we're going to do that before we fly out of Canada. We're going to take a antigen test and hope we test negative on that. And then we'll cruise. And instead of staying in Florida, we've decided to book a back-to-back cruise on the Apex. So we'll be doing an Eastern and a Western, or actually a Western and an Eastern cruise, with a day before and a day after in Florida. So we're hoping that our tests come back negative. Right now we're testing negative on an antigen test, and that's all we need to get on the ship. So we're hoping that's all we will need to get on the ship, and that's how we're going to get on the ship. If things change, I'm going to document it and I'll let you know. Our other concern is how they test us between cruises. I believe it's an antigen test also. So hopefully we're going to test negative on the in-between cruise. And then on the back-to-back, we'll still be careful and we'll test one more time before we come home. That will be a PCR test. So the challenge is if the PCR test comes back from the cruise line as a positive, can we be back in the country? Well, according to the government websites, if you've tested positive and have a positive result 11 to 180 days before travel, you can use that positive result to come back into the country. This is the way I understand it. Whether or not I'm understanding it right, I don't know. But this is the way I understand it. So we've got all our ducks in a row. We have our contingency plans planned. And we're trying to escape some of this wonderful weather. As beautiful as it is, I think there's nothing better than being on a ship, looking at the ocean, and enjoying a beach in the Caribbean. Good or bad, it'll make a good story, and I'll have some video vlogs up on that. I'm also going to try to do some daily vlogs from the ship. I do have Wi-Fi, and I might do some short ones daily or every other day, and then put some longer videos that you're used to seeing, with a little more production value behind them when I come back. In the meantime, you may see some short videos popping up here and there. I'm calling it, what am I calling it? I'm calling it less than 3 with Phil C at Sea. So each video is less than 3 minutes. It'll document something of interest, I'm hoping. And just if you have a quick minute or a quick 3 minutes or less, check those out. At this time, I'd like to ask you to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so you know when future videos are coming up. Hit the thumbs up button if you like the video. Leave a comment or question below. And until next week, Phil C, we'll see you again, hopefully at sea.